Welcome to our August 2026 Power Through launch. This is going to be training on exit signs and also hazardous location lighting. Hence the reason for the exit signs and the hazardous location here next to me. So today I'm going to be introducing you to our new exit and emergency products, as well as additions to our hazardous location offering. You may remember about a year ago, we introduced some of the hazardous location, and now we're just expanding the line, which is pretty exciting. So first up is our edge lit exit sign, which is an architectural exit solution that preserves a very clean visual appearance while really kind of maintaining that reliable egress identification that we need with exit signs. Now, I wish I had one of these to show you, but unfortunately, like I said, they're not going to be in until mid-September, but you probably have a good idea of what one of these looks like if you've ever are looking around at exit signs like us lighting people out there. We tend to look at all kinds of lighting, and so you may have already seen these out in the field in various areas. What's nice about this one particularly is it fills a gap in our LEDVANCE exit and our emergency portfolio. It also has some great features, which we will dig into very soon. And of course, this product can be used for a number of commercial and even industrial applications if you want. Now, this is a 2.5 watt, 15 lumen edge lit sign with a 12 by 12, about roughly a little over 12 by about 10 inch by just about not even quite 2 inches in profile. It does support wall or ceiling mount right out of the box, operates from -4 all the way up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and carries a 50,000 hour L70 rating, a 5-year limited warranty, and 2 years on the battery. It's also suitable for damp location and is also Title 20 for those California folks. Now, as we're around this kind of product walkthrough, we are going to start in the upper left with the universal input. Now, this exit sign operates on 120 to 277 volts. The benefit is broad electrical compatibility, which simplifies specification and also helps distributors support more projects with just one product, which is great. As we continue to work kind of counterclockwise on this product walk around, the next feature is color selectable. Now, this is not CCT selectable. We're talking color selectable. So you know how most exit signs have red and green? Well, this one here actually has a little switch that you can select either red or green, which really ultimately lets the installer match the sign to the project requirement and reducing the need to stock separate color versions as well. And it's a simple switch, so how easy can we make it, right? So next is the 90-minute backup. Now, this is pretty common for exit signs and emergency lighting in general, but there is a built-in lithium battery that helps the sign illuminate during those power outages, supporting dependable egress visibility, which is why we use exit signs. Also, there's an LED test indicator, which adds a maintenance benefit. The test button and the status light is perfect for routine checks, and it makes it a little bit more faster and more straightforward. So no, there's not self-diagnostics, but there is a test button. All right. So as we continue to kind of walk around this product walk around, the Title 20, as I mentioned, does supports helping our customers that need to meet those energy efficiency requirements for California. And that, of course, just in general makes the product easier to specify on those type of jobs where you need that Title 20 compliance. We also offer versatile mounting on this, which allows for either ceiling or wall installation. Now, these are UL 924 compliance, which supports emergency lighting safety, as I mentioned earlier, with the 90-minute battery backup, and the UL 924 compliance overly arcing supports all the emergency lighting safety and requirements that's needed for a lot of our projects that we work on. The other thing I just want to comment is that the housing is aluminum and it's a corrosion resistant, which really makes it more durable and is also great for low maintenance. It's going to provide that longer lasting, that more professional look, and also a little less upkeep too, because it has that corrosion resistance. The PMMA acrylic lens provides that clear, comfortable illumination, helping the exit legend to be able to remain easily seen without like a bulky appearance at all. So it's just a really clean, crisp, nice looking luminaire and exit sign at the end of the day. And then finally, as I said, it's got that slick kind of edge-lit design, which is that slim aluminum profile. And it really does complement a lot of architectural spaces. So it can fit into different applications, and it also provides that more cleaner look as well. So if you're looking for one streamlight exit sign that combines that broad voltage compatibility, the selectable color of red or green, the flexible mounting, the dependable backup, and the safety features that we all come to expect with emergency lighting, this is it. This is one simple product, one simple SKU, and as I mentioned, it'll be available in mid-September. All right, next is the exit and emergency wet location. Now, this is a dependable egress lighting solution as well, primarily meant for wet, dusty, high traffic, critical access areas. And this rounds out the exit and emergency portfolio, allowing us to compete really across all exit and emergency solutions. As you may remember, and as you see here to my left, we introduced some of these other exit and emergency lights. Some of them do have test indicators. Some of them are self-diagnostics. So this is an amazing way, this wet location and the one previously is a great way to have a complete portfolio. Now, of course, as we all know, there are a number of applications for these. However, they really shine where there is direct rain, wash down conditions, making them suitable for outdoor areas, maybe loading docks, rooftops, that sort of thing, where you need that wet location application. So let's talk specification. So item number 67678. Now that is an emergency light providing 0.8 watts and 167 lumens. The 67681 and the 67885, that's the exit, or what we refer to as the combo units. Okay, combo units means it has an emergency light and an exit sign. Now these are 2.5 watts and 6 lumens. Now all of these do operate at 120 to 277 volts from -4 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. They carry a 50,000 hour L70 rating, a 5-year limited warranty, and 2 years on the battery. Now these are IP65 and also Title 20 compliant as well. So again, starting in the upper left with the red and green letter options, both colors do ship in the exit box. And again, they're going to be something kind of like these right here. And that's just going to provide you with that flexibility on whether or not you need red or green. So less things to stock as well. Now moving counterclockwise, exit and combo unit options support different egress and lighting configurations, giving customers a solution for either exit identification alone or the combo exit and emergency illumination, depending upon the application. Next is the multiple mounting options, and this allows for wall, side, or ceiling installation. This helps the product adapt to the building layout and can make installation faster when the site conditions may change. Again, that 50,000 hour life is going to be mainly beneficial because you're going to have a longer service intervals, and it's also backed by that 5-year warranty. Keep in mind, 2 years on the battery. Just like our exit sign that we talked about previously, these are UL 924 compliance, and of course that supports the emergency lighting safety and performance requirements. There is a built-in lithium battery providing that 90 minutes of emergency illumination during those outages. The LED test button, again, the LED test button, not self-diagnostic, but LED test button is simple to get to. It's an indicator that simplifies the required routine checks that I believe are once every 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. As I mentioned, these are IP65. They are also NEMA 4X, and that means that they're going to provide that strong resistance to that dust and that water ingress. And the benefit there is just dependable for performance in that wet and those more demanding environments and locations. And then finally, the polycarbonate housing and lens are UV stabilized and also impact resistant. They have a very rugged construction, which helps protect the unit in harsh environments and reduces the risk of damage over time as well. So they're going to be really built for those type of applications where you need that wet location as well as that robustness for some of those more harsh environments. So in summary, this exit/emergency combo unit is a flexible wet location family that combines configuration choices, installation versatility, dependable backup, and rugged environmental protection. Again, available mid-September. So here we have the emergency light steel body, and this is a durable wall-mounted emergency light for commercial environments that benefit from steel construction. It rounds out the portfolio with a value class steel housing, strong output, and familiar emergency light operation. Really great for retail spaces, industrial areas, loading docks, and also warehouses. The luminaire uses 5.6 watts to deliver about 720 lumens at 6,500 K, with efficacy up to 120 lumens per watt. It measures just shy of 14 by about 10.5 by about 3 inches deep and just weighs 4.5 pounds. So this thing's not going to be a super heavy product, but it is built to last with that steel design. It does operate from -4 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. It is damp location and also Title 20 compliant. So again, let's talk features, starting with the steel housing. The durable cold rolled steel body provides a robust enclosure. So what does that mean? Dependable protection in those commercial and industrial environments where you need that stronger housing. Moving counterclockwise, the damp location makes it suitable for damp location environments. This, of course, kind of allows it to broaden the appropriate applications for it, having that damp location rather than just dry. And it gives the specifier more flexibility on where they need to put these things too. Next, as I mentioned with the other exits and emergency lights, 50,000 hours average rated life. It does operate at that 120 to 277. Wall mount installation works on either exterior or interior walls. And we already spoke about this, but what's nice about having that type of installation is that it's a very straightforward mounting and it can really be put into multiple different applications on the job without having to worry about, how am I going to mount this thing? There's also with this one too, like the other ones, a built-in lithium battery that provides those 90 minutes of emergency illumination, along with that test button too. The 6500K provides cool white emergency illumination, which helps supports, of course, visibility during an emergency situation. These are, like the other ones, UL 924 compliance. And finally, these have a PC lens. It is also UV stabilized and also impact resistant. It does help protect from everyday wear and tear and supports that durability that you need in some of those more demanding environments as well. So overall, this is a value class product at a very durable steel body type of luminaire. So you're getting your bang for your buck, and it is an emergency light, as I mentioned, broad voltage compatibility, reliable battery backup, and easy practical maintenance features as well with those test buttons. All right, so we are going to go ahead and move on to another class, which is going to be our hazardous location. So exit signs, no more. So moving on to hazardous. So first of all, I want to do just a little bit of education on hazardous because I think it's important to understand. Number one, you never want to go into a job site and tell them what they need in those type of environments. You want to make sure you listen to them, let them tell you what type of product they need. But it is good to have a general understanding of these different types of applications. So first of all, hazardous class identifies the type of hazardous material that may be present in that specific application. Class 1 covers flammable gases or vapors. Class 2 covers those combustible dusts. So anytime that you may have dust in the air that may be combustible. And then class 3 covers the ignitable fibers or flying debris that may be present as well. Typically, class 1 settings include refineries, chemical plants, gasoline storage, and paint spray booths. Class 2 examples include grain elevators, flour mills, sugar plants, and food processing. Class 3 examples include textile mills, sawmills, woodworking facilities. Each room or area must be evaluated individually under the applicable NEC or CEC requirements. So always keep that in mind. You may have 3 different areas within the same plant that have 3 different types of classifications. Now, as we move into division identifies the likelihood that the hazardous material will be present. So division 1 means that the ignitable concentrations may be present during normal operation or frequent maintenance. Division 2 means the hazard is expected only under really abnormal conditions, such as maybe a leak or container failure. So think of it this way. Division 1, going to be there. Division 2, maybe not so common. That distinction drives the equipment protection level. All right. So division 1 applications generally demand the more robust solution because exposure to continuous, that continuous situation. Division 2, as I mentioned, are limited or abnormal. Key here is always ask the questions, but never actually tell them what they need. Make sure you're working through it with them because likely they'll know what they need for those applications. Now, this matrix just shows how LEDVANCE hazardous location portfolio aligns to class, division, and material group. Our primary coverage is class 1, division 1 for flammable gases and vapors. Secondary coverage selected for class 1, division 2, class 2, and class 3 conditions. And the group letters add just another layer of application specification. So overall, it's not that easy to necessarily sell hazardous location products, but just know that we are one that we can compete very heavily in the marketplace and very easily in the marketplace too. And we have a really good offering now with both class 1 and division 1, as well as class 1, division 2 products as well. And so lastly, before we get into some of these amazing products that are going to be adding to our portfolio for hazardous location, is something I want to talk about, which is called extreme zone. What extreme zone is it's the umbrella for LEDVANCE products that are engineered to perform in those really demanding environments. The portfolio of extreme products combines rugged construction, hazardous location certifications, indoor, outdoor application flexibility, and LED efficiency, all wrapped up into one solution. The promise here is really pretty straightforward. When the environment is severe and reliability matters, LEDVANCE offers those purpose-built luminaires designed to operate safely and consistently. And so anytime you see extreme zone, you know you're getting something that's going to meet those demanding environments. All right, so let's get into it. So our first addition to our extreme zone, and remember the first ones that were launched were about a year ago. Our first one we're going to talk about is the hazardous location exit sign. Now, I'll keep in mind, I don't have all of these products. I have a few of them. They are very heavy. I'm going to try my best to show them to you. But unfortunately, I don't have every single one of these. So you'll have to just kind of look at the picture and make do with that. All right. Anyway, so this first one is a hazardous location exit sign, Class 1, Division 1 and Division 2. Now, this is also another reliable exit sign for those harsh industrial classified locations. It does extend our LEDVANCE portfolio into applications that require hazardous location certification, rugged construction, dependable battery backup, and you will also find these in a number of robust industrial manufacturing areas and warehouses as well. Now, as we deep dive into the specifications of this exit sign, both models are 5 watts, operate at 120 to 277. They only use red lettering. They do have a glass lens and a gray finish, and they are rated to operate from -14, or I'm sorry, let me back up. They're they will work at ambient temperatures from 14 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The Division 1, Division 2 housings are very slightly different from a dimensional standpoint. You can see that there on the PowerPoint presentation. And really, there's not that much difference between Division 1, Division 2. We'll get to that here in a second, besides the dimensions and just like 1 or 2 other things. The rated life is 50,000 hours with a 5-year limited warranty too. So as I mentioned, as you look at the features, you're going to see that both exit signs are very similar. They've got the NEMA 4X protection, provides that corrosion resistance, the long-term performance that you need in those type of environments. They're going to protect from moisture and those corrosive conditions. Hazardous location certification on both of them, the UL 844 and CSA requirements support use in those classified areas. As I mentioned, the one that is on the left is Class 1 Div 1. You can see there's a little bit of variation on what that looks like compared to the one on the right, which is Class 1 Division 2. The IP66 rating covers both of them. That's going to provide you with that dust tight and water jet protection. The aluminum housing for both of them is going to be a corrosion resistant, durable, low maintenance type of housing. The flexible mounting on both of them allows for either wall or suspended installation. The benefit here is being able to adapt in those sorts of environments where each requirement or each space requires maybe something a little bit slightly different. There's also a 3/4 inch conduit connection that supports familiar industrial wiring methods, so it makes it a lot more straightforward when it comes to installing these in those type of environments. There's also a tempered glass lens on both of them, which helps protect the luminaire from damage, supporting durability and preserving that clear exit identification. Now, this is where it gets a little bit different, all right? The lithium battery is what you're going to find on the Class 1 Division 1 model. It's going to provide 90 minutes of emergency illumination. The nickel metal hydride battery on the Class 1 Division 2 model also provides that 90 minutes of emergency illumination. So as you can see, these are very, very similar at the end of the day. So this hazardous location exit sign, either the Class 1 Division 1 or the Class 1 Division 2, is a rugged solution, certified emergency exit sign, durable construction, 90-minute backup, and also the flexible mounting. Also available around mid-September. All right, moving on is the hazardous location round high bay. This one I do have. Let me go ahead and grab it here. Here we go. Set it up here so it doesn't, I know you guys are not going to probably be able to see this entirely, but for right now, I'm going to set it here as we work through this. All right, so this is the hazardous round high bay Class 1 Division 1. It is a high output illumination for those demanding classified areas. Again, class 1, division 1. This one here expands the LEDVANCE Extreme Zone offering with the first of its kind dual selectable hazardous round high bay, receiving recognition in the 2026 IES Progress Report for Innovative Lighting Solutions. Excellent for industrial and manufacturing facilities in need of a robust class 1 div 1 solution. So one thing I just want to talk about while I have it in my hand, when we talk about dual selectability, you're going to find, this thing's really heavy, you're going to find here on the side, once you unscrew this, that's where your switches are going to be. All right. The other thing I just want to show you real quick, because we'll get to it when we do the product walk around. But on the back of this here, there is one screw that a set screw that you have to undo. You're going to unscrew this, and this is what's going to allow you to get to the wiring compartment too. And inside here, you're going to find that it has all the little quick disconnects too. All right, so I'm going to set this thing down because it really is heavy. All right. As my face was turning red, just looking at it. All right. So first of all, let's look at the high level specification. We have 2 product families, both providing that selectable wattage that I just showed you, and also selectable CCT. The 100 watt family delivers up to 12,500 lumens. 200 watt family delivers up to 29,000 lumens. Now it is available in 120 to 347 volt, 277 to 480 volts, 0 to 10 volt dimming down to 20%, and minus 40 all the way up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. It also delivers a pretty impressive 145 lumens per watt, aluminum housing, glass lens, gray finish. It's also DLC Premium, NEMA 4X, IK08, and IP66. All right, so starting at the top, 100,000 hours L70 rated life. Just think, you put this thing in, you don't have to worry about it for a really long time. Really valuable here. Moving counterclockwise, the dual selectability offers 60, 80, and 100 watts, or the other bigger model, the 200 watt model, 120, 150, or 200 watts, plus the CCT selectability of 4,000, 5,000, or 6,500K. Excellent for skew reduction and application flexibility as well. Now, the 200 watt family delivers up to 145 lumens per watt and up to 29,000 lumens. The aluminum housing is corrosion resistant, highly durable, low maintenance. This supports reliable service in demanding industrial environments. There's also that tempered glass lens, helps protect the luminaire, adding durability, also rounding out that optical system too for better light output as well. Now, we say, I believe on this one, the tool-free wiring speeds up installation. Again, you may find that you will need a tool to open up the back of this to begin with. What they usually recommend is that if you can't twist this off, which you'll likely not from the factory, you're going to put like a screwdriver right in through here. I'll just use this remote. Imagine this is a screwdriver. And you would just basically put that in there and then you would twist to get some leverage on it. But that's basically how you take that, that off. And then when you get in there, as I showed you, we do have those quick connectors so that you can easily just do your wire connection. What's nice about this setup is that you don't really need any specialized tools, and it's easy to connect what you need to. Fairly easily. There's quite a bit of room in there, so you're not trying to get into a small confined area either. There's also a 3/4 inch conduit connection that supports standard industrial wiring too, so it's nice to have that as well. Let's see. The robust design combines IP66, IK08, NEMA 4X ratings. It does have 6 kV of surge protection. This helps defend against dust, water, impact, corrosion, electrical disturbances. Nearly all mounting options are available. It does have, the included yoke mount or optional ceiling, wall, or pendant, which is all sold separately. And finally, the Class 1, Division 1 certification to UL 844 and the CSA 22.2, number 137, supports use in those hazardous locations. All right, so this is something that we recently added. This is sort of us looking at the competition. So we took some of our major competitors, in this case, 2 other competitors, and we matched them up in the marketplace. And then we decided, okay, where do we win? Where do we lose? And of course, we want to talk about all the things that we win at, which was pretty easy to do, actually. So first of all, this is how we stack up to the competition, okay? This is the round high bay class 1 div 1, and this is going to give us 11 specific marketplace wins according to 2 other competitors that we were up against. Where we shine is LEDVANCE offers 2 of those selectable wattage bands, the 60, 80, 100 watts, and the 120, 150, or 200 watts, plus the selectable 4000K, 5000K, and 6500K. This beats the competitions because all the competitors out there have fixed output, fixed CCT in some cases. So this is where we get a lot of the wins compared to the major competitors. Now, something else that we went on is voltage coverage. We, again, provide that more flexibility from a voltage perspective. And then second thing also to kind of continue to build upon this is performance qualification. So we've got that DLC premium that beats both of our competitors that we compared ourselves to. LEDVANCE also wins on maximum output at 29,000 lumens and maximum efficacy at 145 lumens per watt. And then the last thing is job site proof. Against one of the competitors, LEDVANCE wins with the included yoke plus the optional ceiling, wall, and pendant mount too, making it a little bit easier to mount the product as well. So overall, this is one adaptable high bay class 1 div 1 product that combines output, selectability, ruggedness, and installation flexibility. So next we have the linear high bay. There it is right up here. All right, we'll get to that in just a second. This one is also class 1 div 1. Like the round high bay, this is excellent for classified environments with broad mounting, voltage, output, and control flexibility. It is also first of its kind with that dual selectable hazardous linear high bay with the extreme zone offering. And it was also recognized in the 2026 IES progress report for innovative lighting solutions. Ideal for a number of hazardous locations in need of a high performance high bay. That's a linear product. Now, this is available in two models. 100-watt family provides up to 14,000 lumens. The 60-watt family provides up to 7,200 lumens. Voltage choices are 120 to 347, 277 to 480 as well, with 0 to 10 volt dimming down to 20%. Now, depending on your voltage and wattage, ambient compatibility reaches as high as 149 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty impressive. And rated life is 100,000 hours. It is also DLC Premium, NEMA 4X, IK08, and IP66. So what are the key features of this product? Well, we have the dual selectability. So let me go ahead and grab this thing for you. This one's not nearly as heavy as the other one, but they're still fairly heavy. All right, so we do have the dual selectability. Just like on the other one, there's going to be a little spot here on the side where, again, it actually has a little label, and then you just open this up and you'll be able to get to the switches pretty easily. So as I mentioned, this product is dual selectable. So you've got the 30, 50, and 60 watts, or the 60, 80, or 100 watts, along with 4,000, 5,000, or 6,500K that you can choose to pick from. The versatile mounting includes the yoke, which is this one right here. Now, when I got this, I did have to unscrew a screw, and I took it out. There was one on each side. You're going to notice that once you get this locked in, you can take another screw that's or another bolt and just put it back in. I just left it out, but you can also tighten these down so that you can get this positioned exactly where you want it to. But anyway, the yoke is nice because it supports that ceiling pendant pole. Yoke nice is nice, but we also have the option of ceiling, pendant, pole, and also wall mount options too. There's also that 3/4 inch conduit connection too. This, of course, is going to help with installation, as I mentioned earlier. Now, we do call this, I want to say, we say tool-free wiring. So what tool-free wiring really means is basically just having the connectors in there to make it easy. So like the other one, there is a screw here that you do have to loosen up. It's just a little set screw. But once you have that open, again, you may have to take a screwdriver just to get some leverage on it. But once you have this open, you'll find that there are just quick connectors that you can plug in your wire. And you can get to it pretty easily too, which is another You'll notice that the thing screws on forever. All right. But inside here, it's nice because you can get to the wiring compartment pretty easily, which makes it simple for installation. The last thing you want is a little small area for your hands to go, but this one's pretty easy to get to. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back up here without making too much noise. Hold on. You stay there. Okay. What else are we talking about here? The 100,000-hour L70 rating. That, of course, is going to help on maintenance, right? Input voltage choices are 120 to 347 or 277 to 480 volts. It also does help with that compatibility on different areas of the plant that you might be putting this thing in. Surge protection is nice. It does provide 6 kilovolts of protection on the UNH models. By the way, UNH basically stands for 120 to 347 in our world. 10 kilovolts is on the HUV models, and that's going to be 277 to 480 volts. That is also a tempered glass lens. Helps protect the luminaire, supports that durability that you need in that type of environment. And finally, that aluminum housing is corrosion resistant, so you're going to get that durability, the low maintenance. All of this together is just going to overall help that reliable operation and keeping the product running in those harsh locations as well. So this is the strongest competitive story in the portfolio. 47 LEDVANCE wins across 5 competitors. Yes, we compared this product to 5 competitors. First is unmatched configurability with the selectable watts and the selectable CCT. It beats all 5 competitors. We're the only one out there that has that dual selectability. The broader voltage of 120 to 347 and the 277 to 480 volt also adds another win against the competitors. Second is performance across the field. LEDVANCE wins 3 times in maximum lumen comparisons, 4 efficacy comparisons, 3 ambient temperature comparisons, and 4 surge protection comparisons. So we are basically on top from lumen output and the comparisons that we have, the efficacy, the temperature ratings, the surge protection. And then the last thing that we just wanted to highlight too is overall specification, installation, and installation strength. So we have that DLC premium. We also support groups B, C, and D. That actually beats all of those 2 things, beat the 5 competitors we compared ourselves to. Our mounting package wins on 4 comparisons. We also record 3 dimming wins, aluminum housing win, and 4 wins with the published IK08 rating, which we found on a lot of our competitors. We couldn't find an IK rating. So anyway, take it for that. In summary, LEDVANCE combines selectability, competitive performance, broader hazardous group coverage, and easier application better than anyone else out there. And at the end of the day, we lead with this competition. This is the Class 1 Div 1 linear high bay. All right, moving on. Another product, and I don't have this one to show. It gives me a little bit of a break here. It was supposed to show up. I kept waiting for it. It didn't get here, but we were working on it. So another product that is part of our extreme zone is the Floodlight Hazardous Location Class 1 Div 1. This is, again, another powerful directional light for extremely harsh classified areas. You may remember we launched our Class 1 Div 2 about a year ago. Now we have the Class 1 Div 1. It does broaden LEDVANCE's hazardous portfolio with a first of its kind dual selectable floodlight. Again, recognition in the IES 2026 Innovative Lighting Solution Report. Ideal for all kinds of areas, think industrial areas, oil refineries, chemical manufacturing plants, and many other harsh facilities. Now, these are 2 water selectable options, 50, 60, and 80 watts, delivering up to 9,600 lumens. You've got 120 selectability, 150 selectability, 200 watt selectability, all in one product. The 200 watt setting can produce nearly 30,000 lumens. And besides selectable wattage, there's also selectable CCT of 4,000, 5,000, and 6,500K. Now, these are available in that 120 to 347 and 277 to 480 volt, 0 to 10 volt dimming, down to 20%. We also have that minus 40 to 131 degrees Fahrenheit, DLC Premium, IK08, NEMA 4X, and also IP66. So again, starting at the top with the input voltage, yes, we shine 120, 347, and also 277 to 480. This is going to help with when the plant has multiple different areas. Next is versatile mounting. Just like on the round high bay I showed you, and also the linear high bay, it has a yoke mount that's included. You've got the optional ceiling, wall, and pendant mount that you can get. Plus, there's also a 3/4 inch conduit connection too. Now, luminaire is dual selectable, as I mentioned, and also CCT selectable. awesome for aiding in skew reduction. This floodlight does meet the Class 1 Div 1 hazardous location luminaires. It complies with the UL 844 CSA 22.2 number 137. IK08, IP66, NEMA 4X. All of this means that these ratings are going to address impact, dust, water, and corrosion. At the bottom, the aluminum housing adds another layer of durability. It is corrosion resistant, rugged, low maintenance, helping the luminaire maintain its integrity over time. Then we've got the tempered glass lens. That's going to provide durable protection for the luminaire. The rated life of 100,000 hours at L70, surge protection of 6 kilovolts for the 120 to 347 volt version, or that 10 kV for the 277 to 480 volt configuration. And then we also have that kind of tool-free wiring as well, which is going to speed up the amount of time that it takes to do the maintenance together. So all in all, this is going to be a superior product that is going to give you exactly what you need in those demanding applications. Now, when we compare this with one other competitor, this floodlight earned 6 LEDVANCE wins. First, of course, is the dual selectability. We're the only ones that have that, okay? The second is broader classified fit, meaning ours covers groups B, C, and D compared to only C and D on the competitor. And LEDVANCE also, we publish our IK08 impact rating. Again, we couldn't find one when we did our comparison on this particular competitor. And then the last thing is installation and protection. So as I mentioned, LEDVANCE, we support the yoke, the pendant, the wall mounting, compared to only one offering from the competitor, which was just yoke mounting. So we're going to give you more mounting options. And then also in the high voltage model, the surge protection reaches 10 kV. Competitors, they were only at 6 kV from them. So we also shine with that as well. So the combination of selectability, broader group coverage, documented impact protection, flexible mounting, stronger surge protection, it really makes this Class 1 Div 1 floodlight a superior product in the marketplace and an amazing opportunity to add to our portfolio as well. All right, next is the jelly jar hazardous location, Class 1 Div 1 compact rugged jelly jar solution that is for severe classified environments. It also expands our portfolio for a Class 1 Div 1, perfect for loading docks, oil refineries, industrial areas too. From a specification standpoint, 3 fixed watts, each providing 3 fixed lumen outputs, okay? Dual selectability goes away on this one, but it'll be back here in just a minute. Hang tight. This one here, though, is fixed CC and is fixed wattage. So the 20 watt provides 2,200 lumens, highest 40 watt providing 4,400 lumens. You do have that dimming down to 20%, 5,000 K, ambient operating temperature of minus 49 degrees Fahrenheit to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this luminaire does operate on just 120 to 277. But it does offer that 10 kV of surge protection right out of the box, even on the 120 to 277 volt, even though it's 120 to 277. This does comply with the UL 844 and the CSA C22-2, number 137 for hazardous, just like all the products I've been showing you today. This is also an IP66 and NEMA 4X product, so that you're going to have that protection in those harsh environments. At the bottom, the IK10, that's the highest you can get, impact protection, helps the luminaire withstand any type of impact, any kind of vibration, any kind of mechanical stress. Moving up the right-hand side of this walk around, we have a 3/4 inch conduit connection, which is going to simplify wiring for industrial installations. The tempered glass lens, just like on a lot of our products here that I showed you today, is going to be great for that protection of the luminaire, making sure that it doesn't break. The aluminum housing is going to have that corrosion resistance as well. And then, of course, the versatile mounting. This is going to be able to be mounted as an optional ceiling, wall, or pendant configuration too. And you can't beat the 100,000 hours at L70. That's an amazing lifetime. So why does LEDVANCE look, what does LEDVANCE look like when we compare it to the competition? Well, the Class 1 Div 1 jelly jar delivers 8 LEDVANCE wins, concentrated mainly to output, life, controls, and ruggedness. So first is more output choices. So LEDVANCE offers 20, 30, and 40 watt models compared with just 15 and 30 from our competitor. Maximum outreach of the lumens of 4,400 compared to only 2,900 from the competition. That's pretty impressive. And our efficacy of 110 lumens compared to the competitor, which is only 97. These 3 wins give a straightforward performance story, more choices, more light, better efficacy at the end of the day. When we start talking about controls, we're talking about the dimmability, all right, and also the hours. So 100,000 hours at 1170, our competitors are only at 50,000 hours. We also provide that dimmability, while our competitor didn't publish anything on dimming on their spec sheet, so we couldn't tell you for sure, but we're going to say that maybe they don't have it. I don't know. Then the third is a rugged operating envelope. We operate from that -40, or did we say -49? I can't remember. Anyway, minus something to 149 degrees Fahrenheit, compared with -13 to only 131 degrees Fahrenheit from the competitors. And then also we publish that IK10 impact protection, and also the I10KV of surge protection. Well, the competitor doesn't list anything on their spec sheet, so we don't know what they have. But either way, those are all the reasons why we shine. So the Jelly Jar Hazardous Location Class 1. Div 1 provides that strong, high-value choice for customers who need output, longevity, controls, meaning 0 to 10 volt dimming 20%, and also just documented protection. We make sure we document everything on our spec sheets, and we have everything covered for you. All right, next up is the first of its kind dual selectable jelly jar. Where are you? There you are. All right, so this is the guy right here. Okay, this is what he looks like. I'll leave him propped up right there for a second. This is the first of its kind, as I mentioned, dual selectability. Again, recognition in the 2025 IES Progress Report for Innovative Lighting Solutions. Pretty exciting. This is going to be engineered for really harsh and demanding environments, just like all these other ones that we were talking about. But keep in mind, it is a Class 1 Div 2 product. Looking at the specifications, we have 3 selectable wattages of 40, 50, 60. Giving you up to 6,600 lumens, and then also 3 CCT options of 4,000, 5,000, and 6,500K. Now, like many LEDVANCE hazardous location products, it is also backed by a 5-year limited warranty. All right, so first of all, before I get into the product walk around, a couple things I just want to talk about real quick on this before I set it down. So first of all, we're going to talk about this momentarily, but you've got the yoke mount, right? When you compare this to our Class 1 Div 2 other jelly jar that we launched, you can see visually, okay, that was crazy. You think I'm really going to lift this thing up like that? Okay, so this one is going to be much smaller, the one that we originally launched, compared to this one. Much more beefy, all right? So keep that in mind if you're trying to compare the difference. We've got a pretty massive jelly jar here, all right? This one's going to get the job done for you. That is where your switches are. Remove. And you're going to find the switches right there for your CCT and selectability. It also has a cable here to help when you're hanging this thing. And what else can I show you about it? I guess there's a couple knockouts on the top too. All right, so I'm going to set this guy down. Okay, so let's talk key features. 120, 347, and 277 to 480. 100,000 hours rated life. Yoke mount is included with wall, ceiling, and pendant options. The luminaire also, by the way, can mount directly to an Eaton Champ luminaire, and it is also compatible with an Appleton adapter accessory. Very important, okay? This flexibility is going to help simplify retrofit and new installation planning, and it's also going to reduce installation complexity and also help those contractors install this thing much easier, much quicker. Now, the product, as I mentioned, is dual selectable, 40, 50, 60 watts, 4,000, 5,000, 65 CCT. Tool-free wiring, just basically meaning that you're going to have those quick disconnects in there, those quick connectors. And the tempered glass lens with the IK08 provides durable protection from the luminaire as well. The robust design, like a lot of the other products I talked about, IP66, NEMA 4X, 6 kV of surge protection, and finally, aluminum housing is both corrosion resistant and I would not say it is lightweight, but okay, we have lightweight in here. I would just say that it's corrosion resistant because that thing weighs quite a bit. The selectable Class 1 Div 2 jelly jar records 11 LEDVANCE wins compared to 2 other marketplace competitors. Where we win for sure is that dual selectability beats both competitors. All the other competitors have fixed wattage and fixed CC choices. Second is broader application reach. Against one of the competitors, LEDVANCE wins with broader voltage coverage and higher maximum output of 6,600 lumens versus that of just shy of 4,000. Also, our 100,000 hour L70 life doubles the 50,000 hour value of that of the competitor as well. And then the last thing is installation and durability. Ceiling wall and pendant mount beats the basic ceiling and wall offering from the competition. Our minus 49 to 131 degree range also beats some of the competitors' published ambient ranges. And finally, the 6 kV of surge protection beats both competitors as well. So overall, this jelly jar class 1 div 2 combines electrical flexibility, adaptable mounting, field selectable performance with that CCT and water selectability, rugged construction, and all of it makes it for easier installation, helping also to lower long-term maintenance demands as well. All right, we are getting to our last product with 13 minutes left to go. All right, our last product is the panel. I'm not even gonna try to lift this thing. Trust me, this thing is massive, okay? I got it on a rolling cart, which works perfect. I'll try to make it so you don't have too much reflection. And it looks like that's showing up fairly decent. If I twist and turn too much, you might get a little bit of reflection. So we'll try not to. So this is our panel hazardous location. Now you may be wondering, why does she have class 1, div 1, class 1, div 2? But what is it? We'll get to that in just a second. So hang tight. All right. For right now, this is the panel hazardous location. Very rugged panel. Uniform illumination for industrial and food related spaces that also require classified location compatibility. It introduces the first of its kind dual selectability, 3 common sizes, and also again was recognized in the 2026 IES progress report for innovative lighting solutions. Now this is available in a 1x4 and 2x2. Both of those models are going to provide selectable wattage of 40, 50, and 60. Up to 8,400 lumens. And then you also have the 2x4, and that's going to give you 50, 60, and 80 watts, delivering up to 11,200 lumens. Now, the efficacy on this is pretty impressive for this type of robust product. It's 140 lumens per watt. Rated life, just like a lot of our other products, is 100,000 hours. And just keep in mind, look on the spec sheet, but the ambient limits vary by size. To be sure, again, check out the spec sheet for more details on that. Now, these are IK10, NSF ANSI2, and DLC listed. Now, this panel is designed to help prevent ignition of flammable gases, vapors, and dust within one rugged construction. These are hazardous location, again, UL 844, CSA 22.2, number 137. It does have 0 to 10 volt dimming down to 20%, which is going to give you a little bit more of control flexibility. The dual selectability offers 3 CCTs, 4,000, 5,000, 6,500K, plus wattage options by size. So let me show you where that knockout is. I'm just going to flip this around real quick. All right. Here are your, again, you've got your nice little chart here to tell you wattage and CCT. And then right in here is the little switches. You'll have to maybe either use your finger. You might have to get a screwdriver in there to switch them. Anyway, that's how you get to that. It does have a polycarbonate lens that is built for robust conditions. You can kind of feel that. At least I can feel it. You might be able to hear it, but it helps protect the optical system, meaning that it's going to help deliver a little bit more better performance as far as light output goes. It does have an IK10 impact protection. It's going to withstand impact, vibration, mechanical stresses. I mean, really overall, it's just going to mean that it's going to last longer for you. Okay. The IP66 protection is great, along with the 6 kV of surge protection. It's going to help defend against that dust, water, any kind of those electrical disturbances that you might get. There's also the aluminum housing too, which is going to just, again, provide you that robustness that you need in those type of applications. There's also multiple mounting options, and they include, let me see if I can get a couple of these for you out of here. So they have suspended and sealing hardware. So I have a couple of these things in here. I'm not going to get these out of the bag, but you kind of get an idea of what you're looking at here. And then we also have maybe some chains that came with it, or that is available. And also a couple of these brackets too. I'll kind of show you this one so you get an idea of what it looks like right here as well. Okay, so that's another bracket as well. So this is where you start to get into what does it match up to. Class 1, div 1, class 1, div 2. Here's how it works. First of all, or let me reiterate, multiple mounting options include suspended and sealing hardware with recessed kits sold separately. It also has a 3/4 inch conduit connection too. Please note, Classification, as I mentioned, is based on mounting type. Class 1, Division 2, groups A through D apply to suspended mounting, while Class 2, Division 2 groups F and G and Class 3 apply to the recessed and surface mounting. The benefit is one panel family that can address multiple different areas. Now, in case you're wondering what the recessed version looks like, here's basically the spring kit. All right, so get an idea of that. All right. All right, so moving on, set that down. One more thing I want to show you. Sorry, back up a second. In the backpack here, you're gonna find again another one of these amazing. There we go. Again, just like on, I think it was the round high bay, you're gonna find that they also have the quick connectors too. Plenty of room to get in here, do your wiring. They've got a couple knockouts here, also on the side of the luminaire here. And then you can, like I said, get to this so that you can do your wiring and then button it back up. There's also a set screw in here too that you should put back in once you open that up. You want to make sure everything stays. I don't know how that thing would ever open up, but anyway, it's good to use it. Okay. So where does this stack up to the competition? Well, the scorecard shows 7 LEDVANCE wins compared to 1 other competitor. Okay. First is selectability. LEDVANCE gives customers that selectable wattage by panel size and 3 selectable CCTs as well, compared to the competition that was just fixed wattage choices and a single 5000K option. Second is output and voltage. So LEDVANCE provides us with 3 lumen settings for each size and supports 120 to 377 volts compared to just 120 to 277 of that of our competitors. And then another one is specification advantage. What this means is that LEDVANCE offers a tighter 5-step McAdam color consistency. You're going to have much better CCT overall with this product, broader classified location coverage based on mounting type, and a stronger specification package as well with that NSF ANSI 2, UL 844, UL 1598, and the DLC 6.0, which is in the process of pending. So overall, LEDVANCE on this particular panel wins by giving the customer more choices inside one platform, broader application reach, and a stronger specification story as well. So that concludes this launch. I want to thank you so much for your time and participation. I hope you enjoyed this. Use the QR code for the survey, certificate, and quiz. Questions about the quiz or questions at all about this or any input can also be sent to lightpointmidwest@ledvance.com.